A letter to my future self. One quiet evening, Emma found an old notebook in the back of her drawer. It was a small blue notebook with a soft cover. The corners were a little bent, and some pages had yellow marks from time. Emma did not remember putting it there. She sat on the floor beside her bed and opened it slowly. On the first page, there was a date from 5 years ago. Under the date, she saw a sentence written in her own handwriting. Dear future me, I hope you're doing well. Emma stopped reading for a moment. She smiled, but her heart felt strange. It was like meeting an old friend. But the old friend was herself. 5 years ago, Emma was younger, more nervous, and full of questions. She had just finished school. She did not know what job she wanted. She was afraid of making mistakes. She often felt that everyone else understood life better than she did. At that time, her teacher gave the class a simple task. Write a letter to your future self, the teacher said. Tell your future self what you are feeling now. Tell them what you hope they remember. Emma thought the task was silly at first. How could a letter to herself help anything? But that night, she wrote one. Now, 5 years later, she held the same notebook in her hands. She began to read. Dear future me, I do not know where you are now. I do not know what kind of person you have become. I hope you are happy. I hope you are healthy. I hope you are not too hard on yourself. Right now, I feel confused. I have many dreams, but I also have many fears. I want to do something meaningful with my life, but I do not know where to start. Sometimes I compare myself with other people. They seem confident, they seem ready, they seem to know exactly what they want. I smile when I am with them, but inside, I feel small. If you are reading this in the future, please tell me that things became better. Please tell me that I did not give up. Please tell me that I learned how to be brave. Emma paused. The room was quiet. Outside the window, the city lights were soft and distant. She could hear the sound of a motorbike passing on the street below. She touched the page gently. That younger version of herself had been so honest, so afraid, so hopeful. Emma wanted to answer her. She wanted to say, yes, things became better. Not perfect, but better. Because life had not become easy in 5 years. She had made mistakes. She had lost chances. She had cried in her room. She had changed jobs. She had trusted the wrong people. She had started again many times. But she had also grown. She had learned to speak more honestly. She had learned to say no. She had learned to take care of herself. She had learned that mistakes were not the end. She had learned that slow progress was still progress. Emma continued reading. I hope you still remember small, beautiful things. Please do not become too busy to notice the sky. Please do not forget the sound of rain. Please do not stop listening to music when you are sad. Please do not think that money and success are the only important things. I hope you still laugh at simple jokes. I hope you still enjoy hot tea on cold nights. I hope you still believe that people can be kind, and I hope you are kind to yourself too. Emma felt tears in her eyes. She realized that in the past few years she had become busy, very busy. Her days were full of work, messages, bills, plans, and responsibilities. She often moved from one task to another without stopping. She had worked hard to build a better life. But sometimes she forgot to live inside that life. She forgot to notice the sky. She forgot to enjoy tea slowly. She forgot to listen to music just because she loved it. She forgot to be gentle with herself. The old letter felt like a small light in the room. It reminded her of something she had lost. Not completely, but quietly. A softer part of herself. Emma read the last paragraph. If life is difficult when you read this, please remember something. You have survived difficult days before. You are stronger than you think, but you do not have to be strong all the time. Rest when you need to rest. Ask for help when you need help. Start again when you need a new beginning. And please, do not hate yourself for growing slowly. With love, your younger self. Emma closed the notebook and held it against her chest. For a long time she said nothing. Then she stood up, made a cup of tea, and sat by the window. She looked at the night sky. There were no stars because the city was too bright, but she looked anyway. She thought about time. Time changes many things. It changes our faces. It changes our dreams. It changes our friendships. It changes the way we understand love. It changes what we are afraid of. But time also gives us chances. A chance to learn, a chance to heal, a chance to become softer, a chance to become wiser, a chance to begin again. Emma took a notebook from her desk. It was new and empty. The pages were clean and the cover was white. She opened the first page and wrote today's date. Then she wrote, "Dear future me." She stopped. What should she say? She looked around her small apartment. There were books on the table, a half-finished cup of tea, a plant near the window, and a jacket on the chair. Nothing looked special, but this was her life, her ordinary, imperfect, real life. She began to write, "Dear future me, I do not know when you will read this. Maybe 1 year from now, maybe 5 years from now, maybe on a day when you feel lost and need to hear a kind voice. Right now, I am learning how to live more slowly. I am learning that I do not need to understand everything today. I am learning that I can be proud of small steps. I am learning that a quiet life can still be meaningful. I still worry sometimes. I worry about the future. I worry about money. I worry about whether I am choosing the right path. I worry about time passing too quickly. But I am trying, and I hope you remember that. I hope you remember how hard I tried, even when no one saw it." Emma paused and breathed slowly. There were many things she wanted her future self to know. She wanted to tell her not to forget the difficult days, not because pain was beautiful, but because those days proved that she had kept going. She wanted to tell her to celebrate small wins. She wanted to tell her to forgive herself faster. She continued writing. "If you are successful now, I hope you are also peaceful. If you have reached some of your dreams, I hope you did not lose yourself on the way. If life is still difficult, I hope you know that you are not a failure. Please do not measure your life only by what you have achieved. Measure it by how much you have grown. Measure it by how kindly you treat people. Measure it by how honestly you live. Measure it by how many times you came back after feeling tired." Emma liked that sentence. How many times you came back, because that was what life often required. Not perfection, not endless motivation, not a clear path every day, just the courage to come back to your goals after losing focus, to come back to hope after disappointment, to come back to yourself after trying too hard to please everyone else. Emma wrote more. "I hope you still love simple mornings. I hope you still open the window before checking your phone. I hope you still read books, even slowly. I hope you still listen to English, even when you do not understand every word. I hope you still believe that learning is not only for school, it is for life. Please keep learning. Learn from books, learn from people, learn from silence, learn from mistakes, learn from every season of your life." As she wrote, Emma felt calmer. Writing to her future self was not magic. It did not solve her problems. It did not answer every question, but it helped her speak honestly with herself. Sometimes we are kind to other people, but we are not kind to ourselves. We encourage our friends. We tell them, "You can do it." We tell them, "It is okay to make mistakes." We tell them, "You are doing better than you think." But when we talk to ourselves, we often use harsh words. "You are too slow. You are not good enough. You should have done more. You are behind." Emma realized that the letter was a way to become her own friend, a way to say the words she needed to hear. She continued, "Future me, I hope you have learned to rest without guilt. I hope you do not say yes when your heart wants to say no. I hope you choose people who make you feel safe. I hope you are not afraid to leave places where you cannot grow. I hope you understand that peace is also a kind of success. Peace is also a kind of success." Emma underlined that sentence. For many years, she thought success meant being admired, having more money, having a better title, having a life that looked good from the outside. But now, she was starting to understand something different. A successful life also meant sleeping with a calm heart. It meant being able to breathe deeply. It meant having time for people you love. It meant doing work that did not destroy your spirit. It meant being proud of the person you were becoming. Emma looked at the old blue notebook again. Her younger self had asked, Please tell me that things became better." Emma smiled and whispered, "They did." Not because everything was easy, but because she had become stronger and kinder. She returned to the new notebook and wrote the final part of her letter. If you are reading this, please stop for a moment. Look around. Notice where you are. Notice how far you have come. Maybe life is not exactly what you imagined. Maybe some dreams changed. Maybe some people left. Maybe some plans did not happen. But you are still here, and that matters. Thank you for continuing. Thank you for carrying me into the future. Thank you for not giving up on us. With love, your present self. Emma put down the pen. The letter was finished. She did not know when she would read it again. Maybe she would forget it in a drawer, just like the first one. Maybe years later, on another quiet evening, she would find it and meet this version of herself again. But for now, she felt grateful. Grateful for her younger self, grateful for her present self, and hopeful for her future self. Before going to bed, Emma placed both notebooks on her shelf. The old blue one and the new white one stood side by side, past and present, fear and hope, questions and answers. She turned off the light and lay down. For the first time in many days, her mind felt quiet. She thought about the versions of herself, the child who was curious about everything, the teenager who wanted to be understood, the young woman who was afraid of the future, the present Emma who was still learning, and the future Emma who was waiting somewhere in time. They were all connected. They were all part of the same story. And maybe that was what life was. A long letter we write to ourselves, one day at a time. Some pages are happy, some pages are painful, some pages are confusing, some pages are unfinished, but every page matters. If you are listening to this story, maybe you can write a letter too. Write to your future self. Tell them what you are feeling now. Tell them what you are afraid of. Tell them what you hope for. Tell them what you want to remember. You do not need perfect English. You do not need beautiful words. You only need honesty. Write one sentence if that is all you can write. Dear future me, I am trying. That is enough. Because one day, your future self may need those words. One day, they may look back and understand how brave you were. One day, they may thank you for starting. So be gentle with yourself today. You are not just living for this moment, you are also becoming someone your future self will remember. Make that person proud, not by being perfect, but by continuing, slowly, honestly, kindly, one day at a time.